Hi, everyone. My name is Jolene, and I am with Christian Medical and Dental Association of Canada. I am associate staff in Sudbury. This year, I am hosting devotional readings on Tuesday nights over Zoom. Uh, we're not able to get together in our area because of COVID, but we still wanted to be a blessing to one another during the Advent season. The first week of Advent, which this reading is taking place in, represents a week and a candle of hope. Behind me, I have my little makeshift Advent wreath and my candle, and it's the candle of hope. And our reading that we shared together this week was from a devotional called Advent, A Journey to Christmas. This is this week's reading, and it's titled Redemption for Deferred Hope. And it shares the story of how Abraham and Sarah are connected with the promise of Christmas. Redemption for deferred hope. You've probably heard the proverb, hope deferred makes the heart sick. But did you know Jesus was born because God redeemed a long deferred hope? In Genesis, we read that Abraham and his wife Sarah longed for a child for decades, but Sarah was unable to conceive. When Sarah was 90, yes, 90 years old, God appeared to Abraham and promised that Sarah would give birth to a son, and that through this child, he would establish an everlasting covenant between him and Abraham's descendants. Sarah actually laughed when God said this because she thought, how could a worn out woman like me enjoy such pleasure? Yet Sarah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. Abraham named him Isaac, which means laughter, because God brought Sarah great joy and redemption through what appeared to be an impossible situation. Isaac's son was Jacob, and Jacob had 12 sons, one of whom was Judah. Out of the tribe of Judah came King David. And because Jesus' mother Mary was a descendant of David, as was his earthly father Joseph, the Savior became the fruit of God's promise to Abraham and Sarah. As God healed Sarah's body and fulfilled the desire of her heart, he planted a seed that would ultimately reconcile mankind to himself, establishing a covenant that would last forever. Sarah's ability to give birth in her old age gives us another reason to be in awe of the miraculous story of Jesus' birth. If you are facing a deferred hope this Christmas, rest assured that God has redemption for this season and will bring greater return than you can imagine. Though you can't see the purpose in it now, one day you will. Hold on to God's promises like Sarah, and you will experience that a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Join with me in this prayer. Father, thank you for being a God of your word. Just like you fulfilled your promise to Sarah, I trust that you will fulfill your promise to me. Thank you in advance for using a difficult season in my life for a greater purpose. And I am honored to be part of the work that brings your glory. As we enter this season of Advent, I pray that not only this reading and this prayer brings you hope, but I pray that you would find hope in small blessings, and hope in knowing that your prayers will be answered, despite the fact that your hope is deferred. Our answers don't always come when we want them to. But the prayers of Abraham and Sarah were not only answered in their lifetime, but also generations later in the birth of Christ. So hopefully you can join us again for one of these readings. Many blessings.